Cameron is trying to explain how to multiply 32 and 7 mentally by using the distributive property. And we talked about this in class. It's basically just a matter of breaking one of the two numbers down into a base 10 unit in order to be able to multiply quicker in our head. So 32, we can either round up or we can round down, but we are adding two terms together, so we're going to round down. So the base 10 for 32 would be 30 plus 2 ones units. 30 plus 2 is 32. And then since we're using distributive property to model this, that would be multiplied by 7. So now I could say in my head 30 times 7 is 210 plus 7 times 2 is 14. So 210 plus 14 is 224. I realized we could multiply 7 times 32 and get the same thing. The concept is just to understand a simplified form of using the distribution property to help you mentally apply multiplication to numbers. Karen buys 4 charms at a store for $D. She then buys 10 charms of the same price at a different store. Let's start with just that piece of information. 4 charms at a store for $D. So 4 charms times $D. If she bought if the charms were each $1, she would have spent $4. If the charms were each $2, she would have spent $8. She then buys 10 charms for the same price. So we know we're still dealing with the same dollar variable because it's the same price. So she added to her quantity of charms 10 more charms at the same dollar value. She decides she has too many charms for her charm bracelet, so she returns 2 charms to the first store. We still don't know how much the charms are, so all we can do is subtract 2 charms at the same dollar amount. What expression would represent the total amount of money Karen has spent on charms before tax? Well, technically this is an expression, but we haven't simplified yet, so let's simplify it just a little bit. 4D plus 10D is 14D minus 2D is 12D. So 12D would be our simplified expression. Last problem for the day. Wilson has built a square with a side length of 5 meters. Cameron builds his square by doubling the dimensions Wilson has used. So Wilson's square, each side is 5 meters. Cameron's square, I realize this isn't doubled, but that's okay. Doubling the dimensions would make Cameron's square 10 meters. And we could technically do this without even using any information that we've had to on expressions. But I'm going to show you how to do it both ways, just so that you can think through it in your head. The area of Wilson's square is 5 times 5 is 25. The area of Cameron's square, 10 times 10 is 100. The difference in the two areas would then be 75 meters. Now we could accomplish the same thing by figuring out Wilson's. And then we would label Cameron's 5 times 2 for one of his sides and simplify. 5 times 2 is 10 and essentially get the same answer. 75 meters squared difference between the two squares.